What are the three smartest things a leader can do? And what are the three dumbest? Today we're going to pose that question to the sage of leadership, Dr. Virgil Schmidt of Texas, and it results in some very interesting dialogue. I think you're going to enjoy this time together. And by the way, if you like the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate that. And remember, leadership makes all the difference when it makes a difference in you. Well, welcome back to our program. This is Leadership Radio. And with us today, you guessed it, the sage of leadership, Virgil Schmidt from San Antonio. Welcome back, Virgil. It's been a while.
Yeah, Terry, good to be back. I said, you're looking Texan as usual.
So we've been kicking around an idea, and that is, what are the three smartest things that a leader can do? And conversely, what are the three dumbest things? And we know there's lots of dumb things a leader can do, but what are the three dumbest? So Virgil, let me turn the table over to you and let's get this conversation started.
Okay, Kerry, I can tell you about the dumbest things pretty easily, but the smarter things are probably where we ought to start.
Wherever you want to start, sir, is fine.
Okay, well, smartest thing anybody can do when you're leading a staff is to listen to your high performers. They've got a message that needs to be heard. You need to give them that special attention. That's the first smart thing to do. The second smart thing is to support them. When they need propping up or need assistance or need resources, whatever, support them, because you want to continue to support success. And then the third smart thing would be is direct high performers to the areas that are opportunities. And I used to always suggest to take some time to dream. Mm-hmm. When you're dreaming and you're discovering these opportunities, make them available to your high performers. Otherwise, it'll die because the low performers won't make it happen.
True enough. What you're saying seems to go a little bit counter to some of the leadership lingo that's out there today. So what you're saying is really going back to the old standard of rewarding good performance and
right.
And feeding that monster, not
that's right.
Not rewarding sameness.
No. I mean, my opinion is that, if you just want peace in the organization, that's one of the dumb things.
Hey, there we hit a nail on the dumb thing there.
So,
I come up with dumb things just by accident.
Well, I do too, but I mean, everybody wants peace. It's not that you want to fight and be at war or in conflict with one another, but if you cave in, then you compromise. And anytime you compromise, you're building on weakness. Mm-hmm. And you can't afford to do that and have a high performing organization that produces successfully. It just doesn't work. Those things are incongruent.
Right.
You've got to have a vision and be creative about that vision that the high performers can engage in. And once they engage in that, then the battle is won because they bought it themselves. And really what you're saying when you promote a low performer is you're supporting somebody who is not engaging in your vision. And that just doesn't get you anywhere.
Right on.
That just produces mediocrity. Mediocrity is acceptable in some circles, but it surely is not going to produce the kind of results that ultimately you want to see produced as a leader.
One of the reasons maybe some leaders avoid encouraging the high performers, you might almost say the mavericks in their
Yes.
organization, is that they're hard to manage.
They are hard to manage.
They're hard to lead. So some leaders will say, you know, I want to put my emphasis or time into people who are a little easier to get along with.
Yeah, and I think you're touching on something there that needs to be delineated, and that is that leaders do the right things, managers do everything right. But within that context, there is a world of difference. And so the real leader will do the right thing. The managers will do everything right. So they want to have that control over everybody. When in fact, a good leader is going to release control and give it to the high performers.
Right.
And, you know, you're out there in the field, you know what the context requires. Don't wait for me to give you approval. You've
Yes.
got my approval to do what you need to do. Now, stay legal, but
Well,
beyond
right.
staying legal, I mean, you got freedom to be creative. And if you
Absolutely.
don't let everybody be creative in their own natural setting, in their own natural way, you're not going to have a successful organization at all.
Are we looking for results or are we looking for sameness? Is there anything else on the smartest side?
Oh, no, that's enough for being smart. I'll share a little bit about the stupid side. The first thing is divert. The dumbest thing you do is divert resources from the growing sector of an organization to prop up the deficient area. You know, my opinion is if you can't have a growing department, then maybe the department needs to die.
Mhm.
Maybe it needs to be reinvented. Maybe it needs a different personality at the helm. I don't know, but don't prop up something that's dying.
Right.
Makes no sense at all. Oh yeah, do not put poor performers on the same level as high performers. I mean, yeah,
Gotcha.
so your feelings get hurt. Okay, get over it. If you don't get over it, then get out.
Get over it or get out. Yeah.
You know, there's no sense to prop it up.
Right.
And then the third thing I would say is don't listen to the complaints. I mean, you can hear them out. You can let them share what's on their mind and heart, but don't make that your focus. Because if you do, then you're going to invest all your time and they want you to fix their problems. You can't do that.
Right.
So let them fix their own problems. Ask them. So what are you going to do about it? Throw it back into their court and say, okay, it's an issue. If you say it's an issue or it's an issue to you, convert
Right.
that issue that's a problem into an opportunity.
Into an opportunity for them to grow
Yes,
and find the solution themselves.
find the solution themselves.
I remember years ago when I was managing salespeople, and there was two guys that were kind of at each other's throats. One guy had maybe scooped a sale that the other guy felt was his or something like that.
Yeah.
And they were not getting along. And it was a bit of a cancer in the atmosphere of the office. My assistant manager said to them, I want you to go into that office where there was kind of a boardroom table. I want you to go in there. I don't want the two of you to come out till you have a solution to this issue. And he sent the two of them in there and they came out and they had a plan to resolve their differences.
There you go.
They worked it out.
There you go.
And I've often thought back to that. It maybe seemed like, well, you're treating us like kids, but it was exactly the right thing to do. Let them solve their own problem. They are adults, so they should be able to solve it.
That's right. And the key thing is that forced them to take responsibility for their action. They couldn't transfer any responsibility for their issue to you.
Absolutely.
Fundamentally key and terribly important. That's really what makes the difference. And that's a good leadership strategy.